Hello viewers! On today's news, Mexico has appealed to the International Court of Justice to boot Ecuador from the United Nations. Following a late-night police raid on its embassy in Quito, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said Mexico filed a complaint with the court on Thursday, calling Ecuador's actions a violation of international law. The court, in accordance with the United Nations Charter, should approve the expulsion, and there should be no veto, López Obrador said at a news conference on social media. Mexican Foreign Minister Alicia Barcina echoed the president's statement, saying Ecuador should be held to account for flagrant violation of the inviolability of our embassy and attacks on our staff. The letter and spirit of international law is the guide for our steps, she wrote. Mexico's case centers on a controversial police raid that resulted in the capture of former Ecuadorian Vice President Jorge Glass, who had been sheltering in the Mexican embassy in Quito to avoid arrest. Embassies are considered protected spaces. Although they are not foreign soil, a common misconception, international law places them off limits to local police. That, in turn, allows embassy employees to carry out their work without fear of arrest or harassment from local authorities. The 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, for example, says, the premises of the diplomatic mission shall be inviolable. The agents of the receiving state may not enter them, except with the consent of the head of the mission. However, this rule of inviolability has also been used by political dissidents and other figures to avoid arrest by taking shelter in a foreign embassy. Glass, for instance, has been twice convicted on bribery and corruption charges. He was sentenced in 2017 to 6 years in prison and again in 2020 to an 8-year sentence. Since December, Glass had sought refuge in the Mexican embassy, and shortly before his arrest on Friday, President López Obrador had offered him political asylum in Mexico. But late on Friday night, Ecuadorian police scaled the wall of the Mexican embassy, bursting through its doors and pointing a gun at one of its chief diplomatic officers. Video released by the Mexican government on Wednesday shows that officer, diplomat Roberto Canseco, being thrown to the ground as he tried to block police vehicles leaving the embassy with Glass inside. Mexico has since called for Ecuador's suspension from the UN. It said the suspension should only be lifted once Ecuador issues a public apology recognizing its violations to the fundamental principles and norms of international law. The administration of President López Obrador also severed diplomatic ties with Ecuador as a result of Glass's arrest. Other countries and international organizations have likewise expressed concern and outrage over the police raid, calling it a violation of international laws. On Tuesday, United States National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said, based on security footage of the police raid, his government believes these actions were wrong. The Organization of American States (OAS) also released a statement saying that strict compliance with the international law governing diplomatic relations is essential. In addition, OAS Secretary General Luis Almagro suggested the situation with Glass should have been handled differently. Neither the use of force, the illegal incursion into a diplomatic mission, nor the detention of an asylee are the peaceful way toward resolution of this situation, he said. Ecuador has defended its decision to storm Mexico's embassy, though. The government of President Daniel Noboa has questioned whether Glass met the requirements to receive political asylum, and it reaffirmed its commitment to fighting corruption within its borders. Ecuadorian Foreign Minister Gabriela Sommerfeld also said that a public apology is not something that is under discussion at this moment. Glass, meanwhile, has been on a hunger strike in his prison in Guayaquil. He was briefly hospitalized on Monday. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.